She said she was reconnecting with herself. Her definition apparently included a trip to Vegas with her ex. I found out through her shared Spotify playlist titled Desert Nights with You. I changed all the songs to breakup anthems and left her a playlist called Reconnecting with Reality. I'm 42, from Tempe, Arizona. I work in IT and have been married to my wife, Rachel, for 17 years. We met in college at Arizona State University. She was studying psychology, and I was diving into computer science. We clicked instantly. She was outgoing and adventurous, while I was more reserved. Our differences balanced us out. We got married after graduation and settled into a comfortable life. We have 2 kids, a boy and a girl, both teenagers now. Over the years, life became routine. We were busy with work, kids, and responsibilities. Date nights became rare, and conversations often revolved around schedules and chores. Still, I believed we were solid. We had our ups and downs, but who doesn't? About 6 months ago, Rachel started talking about needing time for herself. She said she felt lost and wanted to reconnect with herself. I was supportive. I encouraged her to take yoga classes, go on weekend retreats, and spend time with friends. I thought it was a phase, a midlife reflection. She began going out more, saying she was meeting up with old friends or attending workshops. She seemed happier, more energetic. I was glad to see her smile again. I didn't question her activities. I trusted her. One evening, while working late, I decided to listen to some music. I opened Spotify and noticed that Rachel had created a new playlist titled Desert Nights with You. Curious, I clicked on it. The songs were romantic, sultry, and intimate. Titles like Secret Rendezvous, Midnight Love, and Vegas Lights filled the list. My heart sank. These weren't songs she'd typically listen to. I scrolled through the playlist and noticed it was shared with someone named Jake. The name sounded familiar. Then it hit me, Jake was her ex-boyfriend from college. They had dated before we met. I felt a knot in my stomach. I checked her recent activity and saw that she had been in Las Vegas the previous weekend. She had told me she was attending a wellness retreat in Sedona. I was confused and hurt. I needed answers. When Rachel returned home, I confronted her. I asked about the playlist and her trip to Vegas. She looked shocked but quickly composed herself. I needed to find myself, she said. Jake reached out, and we decided to catch up. It was innocent. I didn't believe her. The playlist told a different story. I asked if she had been unfaithful. She hesitated, then admitted to spending the weekend with Jake. She claimed it was a one-time thing, a mistake. I was devastated. 17 years of marriage, and she had betrayed me. I couldn't comprehend it. I needed space to process everything. In the days that followed, I went through a whirlwind of emotions, anger, sadness, confusion. I decided to respond in a way that would express my feelings. I accessed the shared Spotify playlist and replaced all the songs with breakup anthems, Someone Like You, Irreplaceable, Before He Cheats, and others. I renamed the playlist Reconnecting with Reality. I also created a new playlist for her, filled with songs about betrayal and moving on. I wanted her to understand the pain she had caused. It was a small act, but it gave me a sense of control in a situation where I felt powerless. Rachel and I separated shortly after. We tried counseling, but the trust was broken. Our children were affected, and we focused on co-parenting. It was a difficult transition, but over time, we found a new normal. I learned to prioritize my well-being and rediscovered passions I had neglected. I reconnected with friends, took up hiking, and even started dating again. It wasn't easy, but I grew stronger. Looking back, I realized that relationships require constant effort and communication. Rachel's actions were her own, but I acknowledge that we both became complacent. We stopped nurturing our connection. It doesn't excuse her betrayal, but it offers perspective. I share this story not for sympathy but to remind others to cherish and invest in their relationships. Don't take your partner for granted. Communicate, grow together, and never stop appreciating each other. After we separated, things were quiet for a bit. The kind of quiet that feels fake, like when a storm passes but you know it's coming back. Rachel moved into a small condo in Scottsdale, not far from our home. We agreed to split time with the kids 50-50ths. It was messy but civil. Or at least I thought so. One night, about a month after everything went down, my daughter, she's 15, came to me while I was making dinner. She looked uncomfortable, like she didn't want to talk but had to. I shut off the stove and asked her what was wrong. She hesitated and then said, "Mom has been seeing that guy. The one from the playlist." I just stared at her. She didn't even say his name, just, "that guy." Like we all knew exactly who he was. Jake. My daughter continued, "He was at her place this weekend. I saw him kiss her." I felt like my chest caved in. Rachel swore it was a one-time mistake. She begged for forgiveness. She cried. Said it was just closure. But clearly, it wasn't closure. It was a restart. I didn't say anything to my daughter. Just nodded and said thanks for telling me. Later that night, I sat in my car for almost an hour, just staring out the windshield. I wasn't crying. I was just empty. 2 weeks later, I got hit with something worse. A lawyer's letter. Rachel wanted to amend the custody agreement. She said my job was too demanding, that the kids needed more consistency, and that her flexible work-from-home schedule was better for their emotional stability. I wanted to scream. I've been the one doing school pickups, late-night fevers, and making lunchboxes since day one. Suddenly I'm the problem? I called her. She didn't answer. I texted. Nothing. The next day, I saw her post a picture of her and Jake at some brunch spot in Phoenix. They were smiling like they were on a magazine cover. Her caption: "Healing isn't linear, but love is a beautiful start." I almost threw my phone across the room. Around that time, I started digging into things. Not in a stalker way, more like I needed answers. A mutual friend reached out to me after seeing my sad excuse for a dinner post on Instagram. He said he had something to tell me but didn't want to do it over text. We met at a dive bar near Mill Avenue. He looked serious the moment I walked in. "She's been seeing Jake for longer than she told you," he said. "They reconnected last year. At your cousin's wedding in Flagstaff. I saw them sneak off for a smoke outside. It didn't look like old friends catching up." I just sat there, staring into my beer. "And there's more," he continued. "Jake's ex. She said Rachel messaged her on Facebook months ago. Told her to stay away." So not only had Rachel lied about when it started, she also went full soap opera and told the ex to back off? Everything I thought I understood about my marriage started to crumble. I wasn't just dealing with cheating. I was dealing with a whole second life my wife had started while living under the same roof as me. The hardest part? The kids were starting to notice everything too. My son, who's usually glued to his Xbox, asked me out of nowhere, "Did Mom cheat on you?" I didn't know what to say. I just told him adults sometimes make mistakes, and it's not his fault. But his eyes didn't believe me. At Rachel's place, things were awkward too. She started dressing differently. Club outfits instead of yoga pants. The fridge had craft beer and tequila instead of juice boxes and applesauce. She was trying to impress Jake, clearly. One night, my daughter came back home with red eyes. She had been crying. She and Jake were fighting, she said. He said something about not signing up for this drama. I think he might be moving out. And just like that, the cracks in Rachel's perfect new life started to show. A few weeks later, the vibe shifted completely. Rachel stopped posting those nauseatingly happy couple photos. The playlist, yes, the one she renamed again to Us Against the World, was deleted. Not private. Just gone. Then, one night, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I don't usually answer unknown numbers, but something told me to pick it up. It was Jake. He sounded tired. Not angry. Not cocky. Just defeated. "Hey, man. I know you probably don't want to hear from me," he said. I didn't say a word. I just thought you should know. I'm out. I ended things with her. She's not who I thought she was. I didn't know how deep your family was tied up in this. I didn't know she told the kids I was their new uncle. That's messed up. He paused like he was waiting for me to either cuss him out or hang up. I did neither. Just listened. He continued, "She told me you cheated on her. That you were cold. That she was trapped. I believed it. I shouldn't have. I know it doesn't fix anything, but I'm sorry." Then he hung up. That call rattled me. Rachel had rewritten our entire marriage to justify what she did. She turned herself into the victim. And she sold that version of the story to Jake, and maybe even to our kids. A few days after Jake's call, my son came home with something in his backpack that nearly made me lose it. It was a court document. A draft, not yet filed. Rachel was preparing to claim I was emotionally abusive. That the home was hostile and the children feared me. I stared at the paper, shaking. She was going to take everything. Not just custody. My name, my dignity, my relationship with my own kids. I called her immediately. "You're trying to take the kids from me using lies now?" I said. She acted confused. "I don't know what you're talking about. Don't play dumb." I saw the draft. Our son had it in his backpack. Silence. "Then, you left me no choice," she said. "I needed to protect them." Protect them from me? The same dad who stayed up all night during stomach flu season, who drove an hour just to get the right Lego set on Christmas Eve? That was the moment the switch flipped in me. I stopped being sad. I stopped reminiscing. Now it was war. A friend of mine who works in tech pulled me aside one day. "Did you know Rachel made a secret Venmo and email account 6 months before the Vegas trip?" he asked. Nope. I didn't. Turns out, she was receiving gifts from Jake. Money. Reservations. Uber rides. Even a payment labeled Desert Sunrise Massage. She was planning the affair long before it accidentally happened. It wasn't a slip. It was a strategy. And the email? It was used to book a trip to Mexico. With Jake. A month before Vegas. So now I knew this had been going on for almost a year. As if this wasn't all enough, Rachel's mother called me. I hadn't spoken to her since the split. She was crying. "I'm sorry for what she's done," she said. "This isn't how she was raised." I begged her not to lie to the kids. She cut me off. Apparently, Rachel had been telling her own mother that I was controlling and paranoid. When her mom tried to confront her about the stories not adding up, Rachel went no contact. I was watching her burn every bridge she ever had. It was my daughter's 16th birthday. She wanted something low-key, just a small dinner with family at her favorite restaurant in downtown Phoenix. I figured we could pull it off without any drama. We'd done okay at keeping things polite around the kids. I was wrong. Everything started out fine. I showed up with my parents, Rachel came with the kids from her place. She even brought a gift and smiled at me like nothing had happened. Like we weren't knee-deep in a custody battle and betrayal. Midway through the dinner, my daughter opened her gifts. When she got to the one from Rachel, she hesitated. "Open it," Rachel urged. Inside was a necklace. Heart-shaped. Nothing fancy, but the kind of sentimental thing that carries meaning. "That's from Jake," my daughter mumbled. Everyone went silent. Rachel's face dropped. "Excuse me? You said it was from you, but I saw the receipt in your purse." It was from him. The whole table went cold. Rachel's mom, who was sitting across from me, clenched her fork. My dad leaned back like he didn't want to be there. My son looked like he wanted to crawl under the table. Rachel tried to laugh it off. He helped pick it out. That's all. I couldn't stop myself. Why is he even in their lives? You swore he was out of the picture. She looked right at me, all the fake composure gone. You're acting like a saint, but we both know our marriage was dead long before Jake. At least he listened to me. Dead because you killed it, I snapped. And don't twist this in front of our kids. You were always cold. You lived in your little tech world. I felt invisible. My daughter stood up, tears in her eyes. Stop. Both of you. Rachel tried to comfort her, but she pulled away and left the table. I followed her out. The rest of the dinner collapsed. That night, Rachel's mom called me. She was furious. She brought that man into their lives like a replacement father, she said. She's lost her mind. I raised her better than this. Rachel didn't speak to her mother for months after that. My kids both asked to stay with me for a while. My daughter said she couldn't stand the vibe at her mom's anymore. My son quietly moved more of his stuff into my house without saying much. Rachel spiraled. She showed up at my door a week later, mascara running, eyes bloodshot. I didn't mean for it to go like this, she said. I didn't think it would blow up like that. You thought what? That you'd play house with your ex and we'd all just get over it? I was unhappy. I was lost. No, Rachel. You were selfish. She cried, and for a moment I almost felt bad. But then I remembered the lies. The legal trap. The manipulation. You hurt them, I said. Not just me. Them. And I don't think they'll forget it anytime soon. She tried to apologize. She begged for another chance. I couldn't do it. Weeks passed. The custody battle cooled down. She backed off, maybe realizing she'd lost the high ground. Jake was officially gone. Deleted, blocked, erased. She tried to rebuild her image. Posted motivational quotes, talked about healing and growth, but no one bought it anymore. My daughter told me once, I still love Mom. But I don't trust her. That hit hard. Because I knew exactly how she felt. We finalized the divorce quietly. No courtroom theatrics. Just paperwork and signatures. The house is mine. The kids live with me most of the time. Rachel sees them on weekends. Sometimes they go, sometimes they make excuses. She's trying, I'll give her that. Therapy, parenting books, texting the kids more. But the damage is there. You don't get to rewrite history and expect people to act like nothing happened. 17 years of marriage. It ended with a playlist, a lie, and a Vegas weekend. But really, it ended the moment she chose to hide things instead of fix them. I'm not broken anymore. I'm angry sometimes, sure. Sad sometimes. But I'm free. I learned that love can turn into something else if you don't take care of it. That trust, once gone, is almost impossible to get back. Would I forgive her? Maybe. But would I ever let her back into my heart? Not a chance. I'm focused on my kids. On healing. On building a life that's honest, even if it's messy. As for Rachel? I hope she finds whatever it was she was looking for. Because she sure as hell lost what she had.